Are target dates a good idea? Did your company put you in a target date fund automatically? Hi, my name is Kevin J. Pino. Welcome to the channel. Today we're talking about the service Blooom. It is a registered investment advisory robo firm for 401ks. The reason I went with this company to help me with my 401k is because I wanted to get out of a target date fund. You're probably asking, is a target date a good idea? What is it? What kind of investment is it? I don't know. Maybe your boss put you in one at work automatically and it's been 2, 3, 4, 5 years and you assumed that everything's okay, which it may be, but you never really dug into it. So what is a target date? A target date fund is a fund of funds that is a certain balance of different types of investments. The intention of the fund is to have a specific retirement date, and as you own that fund, it gets more and more conservative over time. It starts off in stocks mainly and then works toward bonds over time. So that sounds like a good thing, right? But did anyone explain to you what the fees in these funds are, what is actually in the fund, what stocks and bonds are? Probably not. If you're working at any typical company that doesn't have a financial advisor connect, not a stock broker, a registered investment advisor managing that fund and talking to you on the phone, then the person who set you up with it probably didn't explain much other than maybe the target date fund and gave you a handful of different funds that are in that said 401k. Now, these people are doing their jobs and it's a great thing, but the whole intention of a 401k plan is to put the responsibility of the employee's retirement in their own hands. So really your boss or the company owner has a responsibility of giving you funds that are suitable for you, that are legitimate, but it's up to you to actually pick and purchase those funds. Most of the time they put you into the target date fund as a default, just to get you started, and it takes the responsibility off of them. They just pick the oldest one and say, hey, you're young, just pick that, set it and forget it. It'll be fine once you're there. But they don't take the time to consider the situation that you might be in. You might be in your 40s and not have, or 50s and not have much saved. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. Trying to steer you toward a financial advisor. So this is all just educational purposes. Keep that in mind. Now, you could be 40 or 50 and a bit older, and you don't want to have you may not have a lot of money saved yet. So it may not be the best thing to have something that's 40 or 50% bonds. That's more of a conservative allocation. And if you're young, you may not want to have any bonds. Who knows? But also, if you're 5 years from retirement and you're not getting help with any of your funds, and you're just every few years you go back and get the most aggressive target date fund, so you have a lot of stocks, you might be in a bad situation and risking, your net worth going down at the wrong time when you're ready to retire. Also, another thing is the fees. They'll give you a list of what some of the funds are, or they'll give you a link and guide you to where they are, but they won't actually walk you through and show you what they are and show you how they're actually getting paid. This is why you want an investment advisor to work things out and show you what you're paying, because another issue with some target date funds, not all target date funds, is the fees that you're paying. Now, 1-2% doesn't sound like much, but over time, with compounding interest, there's also compounding fees. Again, you probably didn't have anyone walk you through this. So I went with the service Blooom. It's a bit different from most registered investment advisors or financial firms, where they charge you a flat fee. And what they'll do is they'll give you the portfolio they recommend after observing your actual portfolios and what is in your 401k, and see what you're actually paying in fees right now. And then based on a few simple questions, they'll see where you're at, what you have invested, and the more appropriate asset allocation or grouping of investments that you should probably have for your situation. Typically, these kind of services are reserved for people that have over $250,000, and you probably don't even have that. If you're a millennial like me, you're not even close to that. I went with Blooom to help me adjust my asset allocation and to help me manage it over time. Now, I did put a portfolio together myself in the past, but it took me a lot of hours to set it and then rebalancing it. And then when anything's updated, it becomes a very time consuming thing to go through all these funds and to do the math of balancing out the funds and seeing what's the best. Putting that onto Blooom, I can now reach out to them, get them on the phone, talk to them, and go over what the allotment should be and where my funds should be. And they'll take care of all that for me, but never actually taking anything out of my hands. If I don't like what they're doing, I can go and adjust that myself. They're here to guide you, and for a really great price. Typically, most firms charge a percentage fee of ongoing, but seeing as though it's a 401k and they're an outside entity, they charge you a flat fee of $10 a month. But if you sign up through my link in the description below, you can get a free quote, and they'll give you an analysis of what you're paying now and what you probably should be in. You'll get to see what fees you're at, what your asset allocation is, and where they'll put you, and they'll show you how much you could potentially save over time and how much you could potentially make with the portfolio that they're suggesting. Also, by going through that process, if you like what you see after you get that quote from them, you will also get a discount. I believe it's you'll get your annual fee at $90 for using my referral code. Now, it's free to just check it out, all right? So you just click on that link, you'll get a thing from me, an invitation, and link your 401k. They're not going to touch anything. They're not going to make any trades. They're not going to fool with your money in any way. They're just going to look at what you have now, what your allocation is, and how much your fees are, and what your potential growth is, and then give you a comparison to what they think it should be. Maybe they can cut your fees significantly. Maybe they could match it but give you a more aggressive portfolio or something that's more balanced, or they could keep the same asset allocation and bring those fees down. It's a great tool. It's a free quote. Sign up today. Try it out. It could potentially save you tens of thousands of dollars over the course of your retirement. If you want to save tens of thousands of dollars using the internet, click the subscribe button to get future content.